Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, okay. Hi guys, it's Tyler. I'm back with another movie review, and I have Jacob with me again. He's joining
Dun,
me again.
dun.
Okay, so I haven't done a movie review since the last time we did a movie review because honestly, I got a new job and I was getting ready for it, and everything got really hectic. So honestly, I'm not gonna promise you guys that I'm gonna do one every single week because I might not be able to because it's a lot.
He got
Um,
responsibilities.
what?
You got responsibilities.
I do have responsibility. So do you. But I mean, I like my job. I'm just saying it's a lot. So it's embarrassed because I can't talk today, especially since I'm new. All right, so this week we decided to do Murder on the Orient Express, which is another book by Agatha Christie. So it was another movie based on the book. And it was requested by Lizzie Dizzy, whatever the numbers are. She's one of my really good friends. I'm not gonna say her actual name because I don't know if she's gonna want me to, but I'll just say Lizzie Dizzy requested it. Um, Now I did not read this book, so I went into this movie blind without any knowledge. Now,
Same.
Jacob, you said you read the book, right?
No, I never read the book.
I thought you said you read it. You told me
No,
you.
I only I only heard good things. I never said I read the book.
Okay, I thought I heard you did. Anyway, I don't know. I'm like, okay, whatever.
You got something in your ears.
Oh, I can say so many things right now. I'm gonna save it until after the movie review. Anyway, so and we watched the newer version of the movie because last time we did the older version of it, and then there were none. And as you can see, I have characters in the background from the movie, and I just want to point out before we get started, this guy right here, the guy who played what's his name? You see how I'm pointing to this guy right here?
Yeah, yeah. I see you're talking. I forgot his name too.
Oh shit, what's his name? MacArthur? Was it MacArthur?
McQueen.
McQueen.
Yes,
So,
McQueen.
okay, so this actor, he was in a live action Beauty and the Beast. He was LeFou.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when the movie came out, I was like, wait a minute, I recognize him. He was in Beauty and the Beast as LeFou.
That's
I
cool.
looked it up just to confirm that was right, and it was.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so I didn't take any notes, so I guess we're just gonna kind of talk about it. Um,
Just wing it, baby.
just wing it. I thought it was a really interesting movie. Very interesting.
I
Uh-oh.
preferred this one more than, and then there were none.
I was gonna say that this one was better than there was one because it kept us a more serious tone to it. There was much more
Exactly.
of a serious, kind of darker tone to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a few little comedic moments here and there, but it
Hmm.
was less than and then there was none. And then there was none. It was kind of like they, I don't know, made a joke out of everything. But this one, it
Yeah,
was like kept the serious undertone.
for sure. For sure.
I will tell you, and I was gonna wait till the. I'm just gonna tell you right now. This guy, the detective, right here. Wait, right here. This guy. Yeah, okay. He was my favorite in this movie. He was my favorite character.
Oh,
I'm
easily.
just putting it out there. He was. I mean, the way he could analyze things just by, and they didn't even have to tell him anything. He just like, yep, you came from here. You did this. You're. I don't know. It was crazy
He's
how.
the Belgian Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, yes, that's a good way of putting it. He is the wow. See, not just the pretty face on his neck. He has he can come up with cohesive thoughts. You said that about me last time, so I get to return the favor.
Okay, okay, that's fair.
You said that last time about me. Okay, so easily my favorite character. Okay, I think it was her, the princess.
Yeah, she was like the a duchess or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, she was a princess. I remember, princess.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. When I first saw her and her attitude, I was like, she is totally a Karen. She's totally a Karen. I mean, she was bitching about everything. Like
Oh
she
yeah.
was a diva. Which I
No,
mean, okay, a princess, I guess that's the stereotypical thing. But she was like, I don't know, really grumpy and just I don't know.
she was.
Wait, what?
She was a bitch.
Oh yeah, you cut out. That's why I said what. She was
Uh,
okay. Okay, so I thought the beginning of the movie was I didn't know what was going on. All I saw was the little boy running around with the little box. I don't know what's he doing. Like, does this have to do with the murder or what? Um, but then he brought the guy some eggs,
yes.
and then the guy solved a crime with a rabbi, a priest, and a imam. Imam, is that what it is?
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
not sure which one it was, but you know what
Who-
that egg thing was about, though, right?
What was that?
You know what that egg thing was about, right?
What?
So later, when you discover more about the detective, he likes balance. He likes things to be even perfectly on both sides. So
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
on it's a premise. You saw him measuring the size of the eggs, and so he was looking for two perfect eggs, and he could never find a perfect egg, or he couldn't find. They like had him running back and forth every single time for two eggs, and so he later later goes on in life to say there's evil, there's good, and there's wrong.
Right
Good
and
and
wrong, and there's no in between. Right.
but he's very black and white for
And by
sure.
the end of the movie, he changes that.
Yes, yes. If we wanted
Um,
to the end of the movie.
wait, what? You
Last time
keep
you,
cutting out.
huh?
You keep cutting out. That's why I keep asking you to repeat.
Oh, I don't know what's wrong with our stuff.
Yeah. What'd you say though about the ending?
I was like, if you want to jump to the end of the movie already, then next, yeah. And then I started doing what you told me
Oh,
last
the
time,
the
and you were like, no, 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 no.
that one, yeah. All right. Listen, guys, when I watched that part back, I died. I was like, I didn't even remember doing that until I watched it back. I was like, what the hell was I doing? I
Believe
look
me, I
like
was trying to figure out the same
I
thing, and I
look like
guarantee you,
I
everyone
look
else
like
was trying to figure out the same thing.
I look like a crazy person when I did that.
You
Don't
always look like a crazy
it,
person. Okay. Back to the movie.
I'd rather that than not being able to tell the difference between my face and my ass.
Oh, okay. Okay, boy.
Okay, anyway, back to the movie. Back to the movie. Okay, so what was I saying?
We were talking about the eggs, and then you were
Oh,
talking about the beginning of the
so
movie.
the
Yeah.
egg scene really, if what you're saying is it set the tone for his character.
Yes, it was a premise to figure out what he's really about.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then so after that, he solves that crime. It wasn't either the three of them, it was the chief of police that
Yeah.
ended up being guilty. So I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, can I just say this? At the
What?
beginning of that movie, when I saw that scene, I was thought we were about to have some Indiana Jones vibes. Like I was like, I thought this movie was going to be exactly like Indiana Jones vibes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't, I
like
mean,
a comedic adventurer investigator movie.
you're gonna crucify me. I've never seen
Oh my god. That might have to be your next movie review.
Oh Jesus. Okay, so and then after all that, we get the whole scene where he meets up with his friend, Book. Book,
Yes, yes.
and then he's with a prostitute.
Ooh la la.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they went ooh la la somewhere at one point. Anyway, but and then I think there's at some for some reason he ends up going on the Orient Express.
Hmm.
And we go into the adventure because and a lot of the characters just seem like Mrs. Oh god, Hubbard.
Hmm.
She is just like she has no shame at
True.
all. Like
Yeah.
she was legitimately like promiscuous. and showed no shame in that.
Uh-huh.
Although she rejected,
She
was it?
rejected the bad guy, Johnny Depp's character, Cassetti.
Wait a minute, that was Johnny Depp.
Yeah, look at the guy right next to you. The guy
Oh,
that's
that's
Johnny
not
Depp.
him.
Yeah, that's Johnny Depp. No, the guy that's right next to the detective.
Yeah, I know. I think
Yeah, that's Johnny Depp.
that him. What?
Yeah, look at it.
Okay, now I recognize it, but he looks much older, so I didn't know. Wow. And you know what? I did look at the movie before I watched it, and I did see Johnny Depp's name, but I forgot. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
that's
Johnny
Johnny
Depp.
Depp.
I was surprised by the amount of famous characters, the famous actors in this movie.
Yeah. Well, so her character, I mean, going back to Miss Hubbard, she was, I mean, I'll give her that. She had no shame.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give her that. Um, True to herself.
True,
Um,
very true.
and let's see. And then we had the religious woman,
Yes,
get her name, but I know.
we're forgetting everyone's names today, aren't we?
Well, there were so many characters in this movie. It was
There
hard to
was
keep track
a lot to keep
of
track of.
names, right?
Yeah,
I know Mary. I remember Mary. I think she's the one up top in the corner, right? Why is my finger not pointing? Oh my gosh! What the? There we go. No, her.
yeah, her.
No. Mary's the other one. Mary's right here.
Oh yeah, the other one's the
Yeah,
dancer that you
that
just pointed at.
the
Yeah.
other one was the Countess. Yeah.
Yes.
Um. Okay, so I guess so. Obviously, Johnny Depp's character, his name was Cassetti. That was his real name.
Cassetti. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Cassetti's his real name.
his fake name was
Rafidi or Rafferty or something like
yeah,
that.
we'll go with that. But his
Yeah.
real name was Cassetti. And okay, obviously he ends up murdered. And there's the big mystery. Who did it? And
Mm-hmm.
before we get to the big ending, um, who did you suspect first? Out of the characters, like who did you suspect first?
Hmm. Honestly, that's a hard one. I
Uh-huh.
think because they all look sketched out. Like, well, they didn't really look sketched out or anything. It was kind of like my it was I was initially thinking it was going to be like who's going to be next. Like I couldn't have an idea of who was the murderer.
Like, and then
I
there was
my
none. You thought it was gonna be like a
Yeah,
chain
I
of
thought I was
murders.
trying to
Yeah.
figure out who's going to be the next one that gets killed. That's what my
Right.
thoughts were. But if I really like thought about it and like who was the murderer, I honestly, just because of their attitude to other, I wouldn't have put it past McQueen
Mm.
or the Austrian professor, the guy who turned out to be a the policeman.
Okay, so I I agree with you about McQueen. I first suspected McQueen because he, his response to everything was just kind of sketchy.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know.
And then now I did not suspect the professor as you did. I actually
Yeah.
suspected either McQueen or the Miss Hubbard
Mm-hmm.
because the way she just was like, "Oh, there was a man in my room," and she was so quick to set up the scene of what had
Yes.
happened, and I was like, "Okay, that's a little too." I don't know. Like you came
Too
up with that
straightforward.
way too quickly. Like
Yeah.
that's so that because I was McQueen and Hubbard for me were my first two suspicions, but
Mm-hmm.
then I actually started to suspect a lot of them. I was like, who the hell did this? Like because
Yeah, it was very confusing.
they all seem guilty. Like they all
Mm-hmm.
seem really guilty, which we're gonna get to the ending. um, and so it was really, really hard to compute that. And there was a lot of details in the movie that I really don't remember all the details. But I mean, it was hard to point out who I thought like was the actor because they all, like you said, they all looked sketchy.
Yeah.
But the movie, I will say, that's a compliment to the movie. The movie did really good at making us throwing us off, making us think, oh, maybe it's this person, or maybe it's that person, or oh, now this person seems sketchy. Like,
It really kept you on your toes for sure.
yeah, it did. So, um, I actually thought there was going to be a twist ending. The reason I expected Mrs. Hubbard was I thought she was going to turn out to be, so you know how they told the story about the woman, like her daughter got kidnapped and then she died on the, like she had a child, but she premature birth and she died with the child.
Yeah, she died from her own grief.
Right.
Grief.
So I actually thought the twist ending was going to be Mrs. Hubbard, like the woman didn't actually die, and Mrs.
Yeah.
Hubbard. Like, I thought she was going to turn out to be the,
Oh,
but it
interesting.
didn't turn out to be that because I'm like, there's always huge twist endings to these kind of movies. I'm like,
Oh,
maybe
for sure.
she
Yeah.
actually die. I don't know, but I was wrong. That's not what happened. Let me just clue you all in. And did you at all ever? Is Book on this? Is Book on my pictures?
You have to move your whole body to see.
Yeah,
No, he's not.
not, well, oh, interesting that they wouldn't put him in this picture. Because I liked Book too. I liked him. I liked his character.
Yeah.
Did you ever suspect him?
No.
Okay, I didn't really either. And obviously I never suspected the detective because that, I mean,
Oh yeah. No. The detective was too involved in trying to figure out the crime. I was like, yeah, there's no way he did it.
well, I mean, if you remember, and when In There Were None, the judge was very involved in the murder. He
True,
ended up
but
being
like,
the criminal. I mean,
but there was a difference between this guy
oh yeah,
and, but we also remember the detective in the last one who was the one trying to figure out and then there were none. God, that's a tongue twister. Um,
yeah, right.
he didn't do it either. He got killed by the big scary bear.
The bear statue.
Yeah,
Well, in the book, it was the bear statue. In the movie, it was just a statue. But anyway,
yeah.
that's beyond the point. But no, I never suspected the detective or Book either. I mean, I was like,
Hmm.
eh. I mean, it kind of crossed my mind a couple. I was like, no, it wouldn't be them. Like that would be too much. I don't know. Um, but it just blew my mind how really good the detective was at like pointing out inconsistencies and lies.
Hmm.
So I was like, how the hell did he notice that? Like, what?
For sure.
I don't know. So I guess this is going to give me more about how we think the movie did it because there's not really much to talk about. I mean, plot wise, because I mean, it's a very simple plot line. Like
Oh yeah.
it's
It's
straight.
a very they they took a very, as you said, a very simple plot line, but with the way that it was done, it really, the way that it was portrayed, the way the actors did it, it was very well made for sure.
Very well done. Very well
Hmm.
done. The
Hmm.
characters were all great. Which and then there were none. I didn't have a problem with the characters. The problem we all know what problem I had. The big huge problem was that bullshit ending where they
Yeah.
changed it. Now I haven't read Murder on the Orient Express. I'm assuming my friend's gonna see this video and she's gonna tell us because she probably read it.
Yeah.
So Dizzy, if you've seen this movie, tell us if they changed the ending. I don't know if they changed anything. It might have been a change. I don't know. But but this one did a much better. Again, the seriousness there was, and this one also was kind of also had some psychological warfare in it, like because it's the same
Yeah.
kind of concept, like who did it, like the murder is amongst us, and that's another similarity between this and then there were none, because then there were
Hmm.
none. It was like it's one of us, so who is it? Now in
Yeah.
this one, there's of course, the difference is not every single person dies.
Yeah.
One person dies
Hmm.
in this one. So
Yeah.
that's the difference. But okay, like so I guess, I mean, we can go ahead to the ending if you wish, because I mean there's not really much to
We might want to portray first, though, kind of like who dies, just in case somebody hasn't seen this movie. So,
Oh,
like,
okay. Cassetti.
yeah,
Okay,
So
so
Rossetti dies.
yeah, go ahead.
Rossetti is a it is Rossetti. We're gonna kind of take a few steps back.
Yeah,
So of course the detective, uh, he goes on the train and he's hired by Rossetti, or he tries to get hot. He's is Rossetti. Jesus Christ, Jacob tries to hire him to be a guard because Rossetti is paranoid that
yes,
someone is out to kill him.
because he's a
And
business
so
person.
yes,
Yes.
and the detective is like, no, I'm not going to do that because it turns out, lo and behold, that Rossetti is a gangster,
Wait a minute.
and
Can
he,
I stop you for a second there? Because
yeah.
one of my favorite lines from the detective. He goes, "I don't like your face," or something like that. He's like, "I don't like your face." That's why I'm not working for you. But I
Yep,
just wanted to stop you. That was one of my favorite lines from the detective.
yep.
He was very funny.
Oh
Very
yeah, no
so yeah.
doubt, he
Yeah,
was great.
so
But
continue.
to continue, so Rossetti tries to hire the detective. The detective, of course, says no.
Yeah.
And fast forward, um, Rossetti's greatest fear comes true that he is murdered in the middle of the night. And so, of course, everyone starts to try to figure out who did this or who did what and whatnot. And
Yeah.
so the detective initially, he does not want to be involved in the case because remember, initially, he got on the train to go on
Get
vacation.
away from it.
Yeah.
Yes.
He needed
To
a
have a
2
break.
I remember him saying like he needed some peace in his life, I guess you could say. Um,
Exactly. Which
and
I don't
so,
blame him because that's a heavy job.
oh yeah, no doubt.
That's a
But
heavy
then
job. You need a break.
Boke, our favorite or your favorite character, is the one who convinces him is like, I need this done. I need
Wait,
this
what?
solved. The greatest, huh?
The detective is my favorite character, not Bogue.
Oh well, the other guy that you liked. That's what I meant.
Oh yeah, I like Luke.
Yeah.
Get it? Yeah.
Anyways, he convinces the detective. What is I got? It's such a French name. What is the detective's name?
How do you? How do you?
Perio. We're just gonna say we're American
Wait,
guys, so
wait. It's spelled Hercules.
oh
It's spelled
yes,
like Hercules, but it's Hercule.
her,
Hercule
her,
Perio.
yeah, Hercules Perio.
Yeah,
We're
we're just
American.
gonna put it like that.
We're,
Hercule
we're
Perio.
we're just gonna say that, guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hercule
Anyways,
Perio. Yeah,
um, so Perio, Parrot, okay, is now takes the initiative to solve this crime. Um, to he then discovers with his intuition that Rossetti is actually a is not the gangster's real name. The man who dies is
yeah,
really Cassetti. And there was a big crime or a big case that he was requested to solve, but he never got a part of it because it was closed before he got involved. In
right.
which there was a family in America, an American woman and a ex-soldier. I don't remember his nationality, but they were very rich, very well off, very lovely family. You couldn't get better than them. They're the all ideal family, and Cassetti kidnaps the daughter of that family and orders a ransom. The family pays the ransom, but Cassetti still kills their daughter Daisy. And in this case, this is where we talked about earlier. Uh, the mother who had another child ends up dying, and from grief, and the baby was a stillborn, so ended up dying as well.
It was
And
premature.
premature, yes.
Yeah,
And then also, the father takes his own life from so much from depression of losing both his daughter and his wife.
yeah.
So, um, yeah, that's I guess that like that's the kind of like the story that we really need to really specify before we get any further. So,
No,
I
that's true. I'm
yeah
glad you stopped me because yes, that's a good point to describe, what Cassetti did. And okay, so
yeah
now if I guess we can talk about the ending because
we can yeah
there's
for
really
sure.
nothing like this. It's just a simple plot line. So
Oh yeah
okay, so since you talked about Cassetti, I'm gonna go into the ending.
yeah go for it, bro.
So it's actually interesting because he is. there's a scene where he's talking to yes, Mary. Mary.
Yes. Yeah.
And he is again accusing her. He's accused her before, but now he's accusing her again.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden he gets shot in the arm by this guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Arbonite or something like that.
Abaddon. Yeah, it was something
Yeah.
like that. And Abaddon says, no, she didn't do it. I killed her. Which I was like, okay, wait, that's way too easy. Like there's that's I mean, I mean, at first I was like, maybe I believe it, maybe it's true, but
Hmm.
that's not, it's too simple.
Yeah.
A complex I mean, I guess it's a simple plot line, but the book, I mean, the story is complex. So
Yeah.
it's too simple of an ending. So I knew there was probably more to it. So,
Yeah.
they
But you
have
also
this
have to remember too, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but those two up top have a love affair going on. They love each other.
Marion Abana?
Yeah, they love each other. If you see it at the
Yes.
beginning of the movie, they had to keep it quiet because
I
he
just want to
is
say,
a race, or he's black, African American.
I just want to say there was a lot of sexual tension in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
God, that was a reoccurring theme in this entire movie. Um, God. Anyway, no, Miss Hubbard was trying to get with the detective. God.
It's true.
Anyways,
It's very true.
so there's a whole scene where he gets off the detective gets off the train and he's not dead yet. He sends the men away that are trying to get the passengers on the train because he's like,
Mhm.
no. And he's like, okay, now it's time to solve this case. So all of these characters are sitting in a line, and he goes around and he says he starts listing out their possible motives for killing Cassetti
Mhm.
and going and digging into their personal lives. And Miss Hubbard turned out to be the mother of the woman who died from grief.
Yes.
The
Yes.
mother. They all were related to the Armstrong case in some kind of way.
Yes.
She was the mother. Dr. Albanol was
He was Commander
military.
Armstrong's best friend,
Yes.
and in the
And
war,
then and then
he, McQueen's dad was the lawyer who prosecuted the case and lost everything after
and
they.
then the religious woman was her
She was the
governess
maid, the
maid.
nanny.
And then no, Mary was the governess though.
Yeah. So
Mary
the
was the
religious woman was
governess.
the one that was there whenever Daisy was
Yes.
kidnapped. Yeah.
And then who is this in the corner?
She was the cook, Schmidt.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
And then Countess was Sonia's
Was, yes, Sonia's
sister of
sister.
the woman.
Yeah.
And well, of course, Cassetti murdered her. And then
Hmm.
okay, she, Princess, and her
She was the godmother of Daisy.
godmother. There you go. And then the
Yeah.
professor. Well, how was the
He
professor?
was a police officer that was on the case and fell in love with a woman who was convicted but was innocent.
Okay, so regardless, they were all connected in some kind. Oh wait, what about this guy?
He
Oh,
was the batsman of Colonel Armstrong. He
okay,
was his servant, and then he worked for him as the secretary later on.
okay. So they were all connected.
Yes.
So the detective is looking at them and saying, "You all could have." Well, actually, basically saying all their motives, and then he comes on and says the answer is not a single one of you could have done it, nor a pair.
Hmm.
And then he goes to reveal that all of them did it.
Hmm.
Bum bum bum. And it shows a flashback to how they kind of teamed up and they set up the crime scene, and they even showed, now they didn't show the actual stabbing, but they showed like them going like they all
Yeah.
stabbed Cassetti.
They all took a turn stabbing. So
Stabbing
each
him.
one did
Right.
one stab and then gave it to the
Yes.
next person.
So that's how it ends. And then Hubbard, she says, don't prosecute or don't punish them, only punish me, because this was my
Yes.
idea. I hired them.
She was the leader.
Right. And I guess let's see, wait. She said that, and then oh, And then detective says there's right and wrong, and then there's you. So now he's acknowledging there's gray because she's
Yeah.
the gray area. He's saying like she's
Yes.
basically the gray area
Because he cannot
because
judge. He
right.
cannot he cannot bring himself to judge in
And
this
then he
case.
says,
He's so used to black and white.
if you guys want to walk away innocent, kill me, shoot me,
Because
because he cannot lie.
because
He cannot lie.
exactly. He says you had
Cannot
to throw
lie.
my body in the river.
Right. And Book is like, no, don't let him kill you.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Hubbard, instead, I think she tries to kill herself, but then the gun clicks and it doesn't go off.
Yes. So
Which, which,
he
okay,
knew he
yes,
he knew that the gun was empty.
yes,
But
that's what I
I
was gonna
think
say.
he used this as a chance
That's a tactic.
to see if they were actually felt guilty, if like in and by them or by Mrs. Hubbard feeling was actually felt guilty or like was trying to be innocent. Because if she actually shot him,
Yeah, she
she
wouldn't
had
be
no remorse. So she
no
would have like
remorse.
she was actually a bad person in his eyes. But because she turned the gun on herself and tried to kill herself, that was a sense of relief of saying that he knew what he
She had
saw
remorse for what she did.
exactly, and that she wouldn't have done it in any case except for the fact that Cassetti was a terrible person and also killed her daughter and
And
her whole
cost her,
family.
yeah, granddaughter,
Yeah, her whole family
granddaughters,
basically. Yeah.
granddaughters, because the stillborn
Hmm.
baby, and then her son-in-law.
Yep.
And so she, and of course she did, the gun clicks, and you're right. I thought that too. I was like, he totally knew it wasn't gonna go off.
Yeah.
Once it clicked, I was like, yeah, he was doing that to test up. He was
Hmm.
putting a test up. And then so when he's on the train, he when he's leaving the train, he tells them all, none of you are gonna be punished. You are all free to go
Hmm.
because you were all broken. And
Yeah.
I see the brokenness in you, which I, and again, I just watched this movie, so I'm kind of still in the processing. I don't know how I feel about that because, on one hand, yes, Cassetti was a horrible person.
Hmm.
Horrible.
Hmm.
However, I mean, you're not going to punish. I don't know. Like, it's a weird middle
I
ground.
think
Like, I
I think
understand why he did that. Yeah.
mhm. I
But
think that he really saw that the punishments or like that in Cassetti's crime, not
mhm,
just one person suffered, everyone
yeah.
suffered. And so that by him by that their punishment was suffering through this already. And that's what he kind of like this is not my judgment, you know. And he said what you need is not punishment, what everyone here needs is healing.
Yes, and I do agree with that. I do agree with that. And also I think, oh, I was gonna make a point about Cassetti. I mean, Cassetti ruined all their lives, not just one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but there was another thing I was gonna say about why he did that. I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say about Cassetti. I forgot. But so yeah, I do agree with that. It's just I don't know. The other side is like, well, I mean, at least give him a. I don't know.
At least give him some form of punishment. Yeah, I could
Right.
see why.
Like
Yeah.
maybe some jail time or something. I don't know, but again, I understand why he let them go because he couldn't bring himself to. He's like, well, these people have all, like you said, suffered
Yeah, these people have
because of
all
what
suffered
Cassetti
and they were
did.
affected and they were forced by their hand. Like, well, they weren't forced by their hand, but
They
they
could
were
have
the
gotten
victim of
law
the
enforcement involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. They could have done a they could have solved this differently besides murder, which that's the part of me that's like, well, maybe you guys should be punished because you guys still did. But Cassetti was a horrible person. And he deserved to be punished too.
Yeah.
I don't know. We never got the motive. Why he did they ever say why he killed them? Why he kidnapped the daughter? Did they ever say why?
It was just ransom, I think.
So we never got his motive. We never know
Yeah.
the bad guy's motive for this. So I don't know. But I will say, and then of course he finally is wanting to go on holiday, and then at the end another guy goes up and says, "We need you in Egypt. There's been a
Yep.
murder on the Nile." And then
And
you know
that's
what?
the other book.
Oh, that's the sequel.
Yeah, that's another book.
Oh, that's Death of the Nile. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you would realize at first when the guy goes up to him, he pretends not to be the detective. He just goes, "Oh yeah, he's on holiday." And
Yeah.
then the guy was like, "Oh wait, you're the detective." He's like, "Yes." Like really, he's like so reluctant. He's like, "Okay, whatever." Like, he's probably just like, you know what? Screw it.
Yeah.
I wanted a holiday, but clearly that's not gonna happen. So I finally.
Exactly.
It's like the other day when I was at work and I was finally getting ready to sit down and eat lunch, and then a kid walked in me to see me in my office. And I'm like, "Ah, I thought I was gonna get a lunch break. Nope, I didn't end up eating till 2.
Woo!
Yeah. So same, I mean not same exact thing, but context. I understand not being given a break, like, oh my gosh, like ah. Okay, well, just to put it in perspective, I'm a school counselor, guys. That's what I'm talking about. So when a kid
Mhm.
walks in the office to see me, of course, I'm there for the child, so I have to put aside what I'm doing and address them. So that's what I'm talking about when I was like, all ready to sit down and take a break, and then kid walks in, I need to talk to you. All right.
Damn it.
Come on, come
My
on.
turkey sandwich can wait.
I don't eat turkey sandwiches. What do you think this is? The 1960s? I don't eat turkey sandwiches.
Hey, I do, man. They're great. Shut your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the crust cut off that your mom
Hell
used.
no. Hell no.
I'm surprised Freya hasn't made her appearance yet. She made a cameo last time we did a review.
Yeah, really. The next time that we do another review, I'll make sure she comes out.
Yeah, she sneezed on you last time.
God. She
That was
showered me.
funny.
She's like,
Yeah, because
shit.
you were like, boom. Okay, so before we go any further, okay, so overall, my opinion, I thought it was a really good movie. I thought it was
This
good.
movie, this movie, if I had to give it a number, 1 through 10, it would probably be about an 8.5, an eight and a
Yeah,
half
I
to
was
nine.
gonna say I'll say
Yeah,
between an 8 and a 9 for me. Eight and a
yeah.
nine because again, it was better than there were none.
Oh yeah.
Well for you, you didn't like and then there were because there was no serious tone. And
There
I
was no
didn't like that
serious
either.
tone. There was so much serious tone in this one. It actually
Right,
got dark, especially when I
right,
found out that a baby got killed, and I was like, oh. And like at the end when you see Mrs. Hubbard try to kill herself and the music and everything, it
yes.
just you're like, oh,
I thought she was actually
my,
going to though.
yeah,
I thought she was actually going. I was like, I went, oh, I don't want to see this. Nope, I don't want to watch this.
yeah,
Nope, 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 nope. That's too gory. Um, but and I didn't like that either. But for me, the bigger issue was the ending was BS. So
yeah, yeah.
I thought that this movie did a much better job at bringing the
Mhm.
darkness and the seriousness that
Yes,
Agatha Christie intended.
yes, for sure.
So this movie was really good,
Yeah.
and the actors were all really great
Oh yeah, for
playing their
sure.
characters. The actors played their roles very well.
Hmm.
And again, Detectives is my favorite. My
Oh
favorite
yeah.
character because he is really, really great, and I liked his humor. His humor was very, I think it was kind of
You're
dark.
full of that chocolate. What's that thing that's full of fudge? Fudge! You're full of
Fudge, fudge.
fudge!
That's it. You're full of fudge. That was so funny.
That was
I
great. And you
love
saw
that.
his seriousness. Like you see his veins popping out of the side of his eyes. You're like, holy crap. The guy who played that
Chocolate,
act.
chocolate. And he goes, the guy goes, fudge. It's fudge. Fudge, fudge. And then McQueen is just like, oh, I didn't do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, McQueen was always sketchy. Like, because when they first learned about the murder, McQueen goes, "Oh, I guess they got him," and then they question him, and he starts stuttering, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you look really guilty, dude. When you start
Yeah.
stuttering like that and making a face like, like a deer in the headlights,
Hmm.
you look guilty."
Oh
So,
yeah. You're
word to the
suspect.
wise: if you want to look innocent, don't do that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
at least the other characters weren't acting as suspicious. They were, I mean, well, I guess as it continued, they did. But
Hmm.
at first, they were just like, oh my God, like, we did it. Like, well, I just wanted to say, God rest his soul. Like,
Yeah.
I also, but I kind of suspected her because I was like, okay. Because she's so pious and everything. But I'm like, that's a facade. Like,
Yeah.
she's probably involved in this. I don't know.
They always got a backstory.
Yeah, they always got a backstory.
Yeah,
But no, I would say between an 8 and a 9 for me, and you said eight
for
and a
sure.
half. Kind of the
Yeah.
same rating.
Eight and a half to nine. Yeah.
Really good, man. Really good movie. Really good. Um, and let's see. Do you have like a favorite scene? Is there a favorite scene that you have?
That's the tunnel scene when he is just explaining everything. Like he has the two possible theories. Yeah,
Oh, okay. When they're all
when he's just
lined up
confronting everyone.
and
And
he's like,
my favorite line is, oh, he says, he goes, there are two people who knows you're lying. You're God and
and
me. I
me.
was like, oh,
That's hilarious. I
yeah,
think my favorite scene probably is that one too, because he just reveals everyone and it's
oh
like,
yeah,
whoa.
yeah.
But I think my favorite line is not from that scene. I think my favorite line is still when Rachetti, or well, Kashetti, asks him to work for him and he goes, no, because I don't like your face. That is such a good line. Like, because
Yeah,
I don't like, because I've never heard anyone turn down a job just simply because they don't like their. I don't like your
I
face.
don't like your face.
um, yeah. Oh, and it's funny because the professor's accent turned out to be fake.
Oh yeah,
That was funny.
yeah.
Um, okay, well, I guess that's all for the review part. So, guys, if you like this, um,
Leave a
comment
like,
below, comment
subscribe
down
that
below,
boy.
subscribe, and okay, give me ideas. Well, I mean, Jacob will probably come back for more reviews in the future, but
Yes, I
I
definitely
can't,
will be.
but I can't say that he's going to be in every single one that I do. Now, granted, I'm not going to do it. I probably will not be able to do one every week, guys. I'm just putting it out there because I have a really, now that I'm back working full time, it's harder because it's not like a job where I can, go in and it's simple and easy. It's like
He works hard for the money.
I'm dealing with some
He works
heavy
hard
stuff.
for the money.
Heavy stuff, guys. Anyway, so give us some ideas of what movie you want us to review next. I'm sure Disney will
I
probably
mean,
give
I
us
already think we
Disney.
have an idea what movie we're gonna watch because you said you've never seen any of these Indiana Jones movies. What the hell is wrong with you, sir?
You hear that, Lizzie? He just said HE double dot hockey sticks. Call him out. Okay, so maybe that, or uh if the sequel is out, The Death of the Nile, maybe we
It
could do
is.
that one. Oh,
It
it
should be out.
is?
Yeah, it should be out.
Oh, maybe we could do that one.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so let me put it out there. If you guys don't give us ideas, then that's probably the one we're gonna do next.
yeah.
If you don't give us ideas.
So
Okay?
step it up, or we take control of our own life.
Ignore him. I don't know. I found him in the woods. Okay. He was wearing a freaking loincloth. You see the Tarzan hair, right? He was wearing a freaking loincloth. I found him in the woods. Ignore him. Jacob. Okay. All right. We're gonna end this video here. Bye guys. See you next
Peace.
time. Stop.